schedule busy. My head in a hoodie, my shorty a goodie. My cousins are crazy, my cousins like boogie. Life is amazing, it is what it should be. Been here for 10, but I feel like a rookie. I tell her look up, cause it's snowing in Texas. Worked for 3 years, man, you can't even book me. It's me and Lil Baby, going crazy. Weezy produced it, and Weezy have made me. And she had it done, so she got a Mercedes. Your money records, the Army, the Navy. It ran me 10,000, I threw it like Brady. The foreign is yellow like Tracy and Katie. I trust in my they never betray me. Met all these they sweeter than Sadie. When I started out, I just took what they.
Hey y'all, it's me Tania. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. How y'all doing? Like, this is like day 857 of quarantine, and you know me, I'm just trying to be positive. I'm trying to be productive. I'm trying my best to give y'all regular content because I know a lot of us are just sitting at the house. You know, even if we're working from home, we're still bored. A lot of people are seeing the benefits of people just sitting at the house. You know, they're putting out more content because people are at the house. We ain't got nothing to do. We sitting on YouTube all day. Now I'm just playing. Be productive if you can. Take care of yourself. Most importantly, take care of your health. Make sure that you're guarding your family's health and try to be as positive as possible. I know that's extremely hard for some people who are going through like the obvious things that are negative within this pandemic, like of course loss of job. If you've lost anybody you love due to this, I'm so sorry. Or even people who are essential workers and they're, you know, basically forced to face hazardous situations every day. Y'all are the real ones. I really appreciate y'all, including my husband. He's an essential worker, and it's really hard to be able to compartmentalize the mental effect of what we're going through and still be able to go out there, hold your family down. So much respect to people who are still holding the country down. For those of you who do not know who I am, I'm a mental health therapist. I'm also a health coach, and I'm a lockhead of 5 years. And I make a lot of content on locks, mental health, and wellness. And I also like to throw in some stuff about personal development as well. And yeah, I like to talk about lock content from my personal perspective. I don't want it to come across like I'm an expert. I'm never in any way, shape, or form trying to tell you what to do with your lock journey. I'm not an expert in your hair. You are or will eventually become the expert in your own hair, okay? I'm just sharing my journey, and hopefully it provides value as you learn your hair and learn the ins and outs of your own journey, okay? So if any of that piques your interest, I encourage you, if you have not already, to please check out some more of my content. If you have not subscribed, please, subscribe to your girl. I promise you, you're going to get value here. I don't put out just random stuff. There's always some gems in my stuff, okay? But yeah, we're going to get into today's topic because I know that's what you're here for. My locks are 5 years old, and if at first glance they don't look combined, okay, but they are. The bottom third of my head is combined. I started my locks with 2 strand twists, which I mentioned in my 2 strand twist video, that one of the cons of starting your locks with 2 strand twists, especially if you're starting them yourself, is that you might have a higher likelihood of 2 head dragons or having to combine your hair down the line, depending on how your hair matures and buds and grows, okay? Especially as it gets longer, because as your hair gets longer, or more, it weighs down on your roots more, and that can sometimes cause you to have to combine due to thinning, okay? There's the rubber band method and there is the crochet needle method. I have used both of them, and there are pros and cons to both. With the rubber band method, it is the easier one to do. I actually have a couple of mine right now that I have rubber bands on the ends of them, and all you have to do is combine your locks, and at the very end, at the lock tip, you put the rubber band there. Now, some things to consider is not tightening the rubber band to the point that it causes like a significant dent in your lock tip, because at the end of the day, that can cause weakening in your lock. The rubber band method is more accessible because you can just go get little black rubber bands from Walmart or something like that. It can also be damaging if you just don't take it seriously and you just pop some rubber bands up there, okay? So keep that in mind. The crochet needle method, I personally wouldn't use it if I had not learned my hair or learned how to implement that method, because it can be damaging. Just like interlocking can be damaging, using the crochet needle for maintaining your locks can be damaging if you are not careful. So the pro of crochet needle is it can be more seamless, and most of the time when people use a crochet needle, the demarcation line, that 2-strand twist line, is not there. But like I said, the con is that it can damage your lock if you don't know what you're doing. Also, whenever you're combining your locks, and you should be doing this regardless if you want to combine your locks or not, please pay special attention to your roots. If the reason why you're having to combine your locks is because you're doing damaging maintenance techniques, then make sure you're doing everything you can to take care of your roots. The goal of a lock journey, in my opinion, is to make sure your roots are as luscious and thick as possible, okay? Because if you don't have thick locks, you're kind of setting your lock growth down the shaft up for failure, and they'll be thinning down the shaft, which causes weak points. A lot of things really do come into play when it comes down to the length of time that it takes for your locks to combine. Texture, okay, the method that you use, products that you use, because some products, especially if they're thick and creamy, if you're one of those lockers who uses conditioners and you have combined locks, just know that that's going to affect the lock combining. I'm not telling you not to do it. Just know that when you use anything with that amount of slip in it, that sometimes it kind of interferes with the meshing process, with the marrying process of the lock. So those are things to consider whenever you are trying to see how long it's going to take for your locks to lock. I combined the back of my head like 2 years ago, and I still have some locks that are just like, I am not locking, girl. Okay, I done told you I want to be this way. Like this one, okay? This one right here, okay? I've combined this lock so many times, and I know some of y'all might be like, you know what, girl, if it keeps unraveling, and maybe it just don't want to do that. And I understand that too, but here, this is my head crochet locks, and I want this mug combined. When I originally combined this, I did it myself, and honestly, my crochet needle combining skills are not as good as my husband's. He knows how to combine locks with a crochet needle to make it look seamless, like almost like it was originally that way. So whenever I really need my locks combined, I will go to him. He will hook me up, okay? And yeah, I can go on about my way. Some other things to consider whenever you are combining your locks is, at the end of the day, people who have thinner locks are probably going to see their locks combined quicker than people who have thicker locks. Some people like to, even though they have thicker locks, they want even thicker locks. And the thicker the two quote unquote original locks are, the two locks that you're combining, the thicker they are, generally speaking, the longer it's going to take for them to combine naturally. Now with a crochet needle, like that's almost instantaneous. But if you're just using the rubber band method, just know that the thicker the locks are, sometimes the longer it takes to combine. Also, the more mature your locks are when you combine them, the longer it's generally going to take to combine. Some people, to try to facilitate the combination of thicker locks, they'll take like the crochet needle and like pick at the locks that they want to combine to create fuzziness, to kind of help them to marry a little bit easier. But at the end of the day, the thicker your locks are and the more mature they are, generally speaking, the longer it's going to take for them to combine down the lock shaft. The last thing I wanted to mention is, whenever you are combining locks, the last part to combine is the end. And generally speaking, that's why people have two-head dragons a lot of times, because it is the last part to combine. I mean, at the end of the day, the ends are the oldest, and a lot of times they're the driest. And just be patient with your hair at the end of the day. Don't be fussy with it. While I have had locks that are easy when it comes to combining, I do have a lot more fussier locks too. So I've learned over the years to not be too hard on my locks, and that just let them do what they do and be patient with them. But overall, my combining lock experience has been a good one. I've done a lot of research, and my husband is a good support in my combining journey as well, because like I said, he is a beast with the needle. He's a leathersmith. So I would encourage you, if you are thinking about combining your locks, to consider the things that I've talked about in this journey. Consider how long you've been locked, consider your hair texture, consider the products that you're using, consider the method that you're using. And if you are relatively new, like you just started your locks within the last month, and you're like, okay, I want to combine these. I personally wouldn't combine 1-month-old locks. I would just comb out the locks and just combine and just lock them into one that way. So yeah, that's it. I know that was a mouthful, but your girl wanted to come up here real quick and give y'all some insight into her journey, into her combining lock experience. And yeah, if you have any questions, please leave them in the comment section below, because your girl is very, very, very engaged with the people who view her channel. And I will answer your question, and I will do the best I can to give you insight from my perspective. However, please do more research, okay? So that you can come up with your own conclusion about how you want to address your lock journey, okay? And yeah, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, all right? And until the next video, I will see you guys later. Bye. Let me give y'all a quick look at my hair. Bye, y'all.
The dash is busy, the schedule busy. My head in a hoodie, my shorty a goodie. My cousins are crazy, my cousins like boogie. Life is amazing, it is what it should be. Been here for 10, but I feel like a rookie. I tell her look up, cause it's snowing in Texas.